Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast that I'm doing. Today, we're going to be reading another Am I the A-Hole story. Now, I've looked at the title of this one, and actually, I initially saw the update for it, and the story intrigued me enough that I went back and found the original post, so I will be reading the original post that was from a few days ago, and then now the update that came out just today. About this story, and I haven't read deep into it or anything like that, just the title and enough of it to kind of get a sense of what's going on. Real quick, there is going to be a trigger warning here for loss and miscarriages, so if that's something that you've experienced and could potentially trigger you, I want you to be aware of that before you listen to this one. If that's something that could trigger some trauma for you, maybe skip this one. But yeah, so we're going to be into that, and there's probably not going to be a whole lot of me joking around this time. Might be a little bit more of a serious tone to this one. I may get mad, depending on, the title made me mad already a little bit, depending on what happens, so be aware of that. And when I get mad, I yell and swear and whatnot, so we'll see. But yeah, well, all that being said, let's dive into this one, folks. I'm not going to be making many jokes this time, so buckle up. All right, everyone, and once again, trigger warning for loss, specifically miscarriages. So if that is something triggering for you, don't listen. All right, but I'm here for you. Let's get through this together, huh? All right. Am I the asshole for calling my husband a disgrace after he said my miscarriage ruined his birthday? Like I said, I'm already kind of mad from the title. What do you mean he said your miscarriage ruined his birthday? How is this even a question whether or not you're the asshole? Are you asking if you're the asshole because you called him a disgrace or whatever? Because, I mean, I got to think of a lot more colorful things you could have called him after saying something like that. But let's get into it. And remember, I am reading this whole story, and then I will be reading the update. So this will probably be a bit of a longer one. I'll try not to ramble too much. Sometimes I go on tangents. I'll try not to do that this time, because there's a lot more to read. Let's see. All right. I miscarried yesterday afternoon about 12 p.m. I've never had a miscarriage before, and this baby was so wished for, so it's all so fresh, and I'm sobbing right now, so I apologize in advance if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. My husband has turned 27 yesterday. My condolences to the person who wrote this. That's a terrible thing to have to go through. I, 26, was pregnant with mine and my husband's, 27 male, second child. Yesterday, I was 8 weeks pregnant. The day before yesterday, we saw a beautiful heartbeat flickering on the screen, and today I'm devastated. Oh, starting to get a little choked up here reading that. That's an awful thing. Okay. I was playing with our 2-year-old when I felt a pressure in my lower abdomen. Not long later, I noticed bleeding and let my husband know immediately that I had discomfort and bleeding. Before long, I had passed what I believe is the fetus, and I messaged him, I think I lost the baby. So she went to the bathroom and the fetus came out. I think is what she's saying. Yeah. Damn. I wanted to keep him updated, and I guess I was seeking some kind of emotional support. Yes. Yeah, that's me. If I was in his state, I'd be on my way home immediately. I'd be rushing home the second you said you were having pain and bleeding. I'd be rushing home, take you to the hospital. Maybe tell you that if it was urgent enough, call you an ambulance or something. I'd be there as quickly as possible. I asked if he could come home, and he said, quote, "Of course, if it's urgent." Okay, I'm going to try not to get incredibly... I've got a lot to read, so I'm going to try not to get super mad and ramble right away. What do you mean, if it's urgent? She told you she thinks she lost the baby. What do you mean, if it's urgent? If? It doesn't get more urgent than that. Okay. I said I think it is because the pain and bleeding is getting worse, and I'm starting to feel lightheaded, and our 2-year-old is unattended in his playroom right now. Oh, God, yeah, she had another kid she had to look after while going through this. Jesus Christ. We have no friends or family near that I could call who would get to us quicker than he could. Yeah, that would have been my next question. I had to clean myself up, crawl downstairs, and take paracetamol, make my son his lunch, and then put him down for a nap, all while actively miscarrying, bleeding. At this point, my husband still isn't home. Okay, how long is that's a lot of things to do with him not. He was working approximately 30 minutes away. Okay, and took closer to 60 minutes to get back. I sincerely hope there was traffic or something, some kind of accident on the freeway. Something to keep the man from doubling his time getting home when something so serious is happening. Hours later, when I asked, it was because he'd stopped at Tesco to pick up some beers. What? His wife was actively miscarrying while still trying to care for their child, and instead of rushing home and cutting that 30 down to 15, he stopped to get some beer. I'm just going to keep reading. I ended up very poorly. Judging by the verbiage, I'm guessing that they might be European, like British. Poorly is not really a word that we use in America, so I imagine this person's probably, like I said, from the UK somewhere. I ended up very poorly, losing lots of blood, lightheaded, vomiting, etc., and he had to take me to A&E. See, again, I don't know what that is. So I imagine that's probably a UK thing. Is that like your version of ER? I imagine. That's what I would guess. By the time I was discharged, it was almost 8 p.m. Last week, I had said I'd make him his favorite dinner for his birthday, which he reminded me when we were almost home. Just don't worry about it, bro. Just fucking... How is it you just lost your baby and you're thinking about, oh, what if she's still going to make me my birthday dinner? What the fuck? We keep moving. I said I wasn't feeling up to it and that whatever takeaway he wants is on me. That's very nice of you. Nicer than he deserves. He said, for fuck's sake, under his breath, and then muttered something along the lines of, quote, this bullshit has ruined my birthday. I'm very, very angry right now, if I'm being honest. I'm trying not to scream in y'all's ears right now. Okay. He didn't stop to get any takeaway. He just drove straight home. He put our son to bed, and I went to bed, and I'm not sure what he did after. I didn't see him this morning, as he had already left for work. He's not messaged me all day, and he got home a few hours ago. It's now 8:40 p.m., and he's been giving me silent treatment. I'm gonna break my computer. I'm gonna break it. I'm getting really, really angry here. I'm trying to keep it together, folks. I'm trying to keep it together for y'all. I really am. Ooh. It says, bedroom door No, okay, I missed a line. Hold on, my fault. Give me the silent treatment. I tried to speak to him about an hour or so ago, and he ignored me, and I called him a disgrace. That's really, you should. That's nice. That's nice to call him just a disgrace. It's the least of what he is. He slammed the bedroom door and locked me out of the bedroom. His mum has since messaged me and said I need to be patient as he's also had a loss. I mean, that is true, but his behavior is... I don't think he's upset because of the miscarriage. I think he's upset because she didn't cook him his fucking birthday dinner. So, of course he has a right to be upset about the miscarriage as well. But I don't think that's why he's upset. So, she didn't ask how I was or anything. Of course she didn't. A woman who raises a man like that, probably a horrible, rancid bitch. He's obviously speaking... I almost said the C word, is why I paused. He's obviously speaking to his mum, but why isn't he opening up and speaking to me? She said I was harsh. I'm feeling utterly emotionally neglected right now. My body has been through emotional and physical hell. I understand that my miscarriage came at a fucking inconvenient time for him, as it was his birthday and all. I'm not sure if it's the hormones making me feel crazy, but is it nuts to contemplate divorce? Am I the asshole for calling him a disgrace? No, you're not the asshole in any way, shape, or form. I am very sorry for your loss, and, I'm just going to go to the update. I'm going to read the whole thing and give my thoughts. Give me time to collect my thoughts at the end. I'm going to go to the update now. We're going to read what has happened. This was posted 4 hours ago. So that original post was 5 days ago. Okay? So it'll take some time to process, come up with that, everything like that. Now, this new update, come across today, was posted 4 hours ago. So this is very recent. This just happened. So I haven't read any of this. I have no idea what we're doing. It's the update. Okay, update. Am I the asshole for calling my husband a disgrace after he said a miscarriage ruined his birthday? A kind Reddit user informed me that this is the best way to do an, quote, update, rather than adding a comment to my previous post, so hopefully this reaches the right people. Okay. I should have clarified in my original post from last week that the way my husband responded was completely out of character for him. Okay. He's usually a caring and supportive man and is a good husband and father. I feel like a good husband and father doesn't behave the way he was behaving, but I'll take your word for it. It's your man, your life, you know him, I don't. You know, maybe he really is just going through it and handling it really poorly. But I don't know. I feel like a good man doesn't behave that way under any circumstances. The only incident where he's shown any kind of red flags was when I put together an accent chair. I used a screwdriver to attach the legs to the seat instead of a drill, I assume is what the problem is. And when he came home from work and saw that I'd done it myself, he jumped on it until it broke to show that I didn't do it properly and that I should have waited for him to come home. That's kind of a red flag. The man jumped on the chair, jumped up and down on the chair like a chimpanzee until the goddamn thing broke to show how incompetent he believes you are. And that's kind of a red flag for you. You're a very nice woman. I suppose nice is the word. That's not kind of a red flag. That's a giant crimson blood red flag flapping in the fucking breeze, especially given the context of everything else he's been doing. So I feel like he's always been an asshole, but you've made excuses for his behavior before, haven't you? Tale as old as time. Okay. He's been under lots of stress at work. It's not an excuse. Never is. We all got stressors. You don't take it out on the people you're supposed to love. Go to fucking therapy. He's been under lots of stress at work, so I asked him to go to therapy, which he did, instead of pulling the divorce card straight away. That's good of you. We have been together for 7 years. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go straight to divorce. You want to try other things first. Obviously, if you're having issues, you don't want to go straight to divorce. You know, that's good on them. I'm just mad at him. We have been together for 7 years in May, and this is the only partner I've ever known. See, that makes sense. That makes sense. What'd she say before? She was, 26? 26, so they make it she was 19, roughly, 19, 20, and he's the only partner she's ever known. That explains why she's doesn't understand. Like, he probably has been a fuck the whole time, but she doesn't know any better. That makes sense. Because a good, sensitive, caring man doesn't throw a tantrum and destroy something you worked hard on because he thinks you did it wrong. A good, kind, supporting man doesn't care only about the fact that you're not making his favorite meal for his birthday when you have a goddamn miscarriage. Right? So, okay, I'm going to try not to tangent. We're going to keep reading here. We've been together for 7 years in May, and that's the only partner I've ever known. My family all love him and have accepted him from day one. Yeah. I should also clarify, yes, I know he was the asshole in the scenario. Well, that's good. I wasn't questioning that. What I was questioning was whether I took a step too far in calling him a disgrace. No, I didn't go far enough. You should have completely dressed him down, to be honest. Disgrace was the least he deserved to be called after his behavior. He's going through a lot at work, not the excuse to behave that way. Stop saying that. It's not an excuse for his behavior. He's going through a lot at work at the moment. It was his birthday. I'd been messaging him, telling him that I miscarried his child. Your child, both of yours child, not his child. Miscarried his child, and he had to leave work early. And then I called him a disgrace after he'd taken me to the hospital, and I was responding to grief in his own way. Wow, that was a whole lot of excuses for his dog shit behavior rolled in. He was acting like an ass from the up. Right? From the beginning of, you text him telling him you're bleeding, think you might be losing the baby, and motherfucker not only doesn't leave work immediately, asks you if it's urgent, and when he finally does get his happy ass up and leave work, he takes twice as long as he should because he stopped to get beer. Right? So, and then after taking you to the hospital eventually and losing your baby and everything like that, bro has the audacity to, on the drive home, talk about how he's wondering if you're still going to make his favorite dinner for his little birthday party. And then gets fucking upset and throws a tantrum when you won't. When you're not feeling up to it because you just lost your fucking baby. Okay. Anyway. Responding to the grief of his own way was the last thing I read. I think the majority of people said I was not the asshole in the scenario, obviously. And due to his behavior, that my insult was justified. At the very least, justified, yes. Thank you to everyone who reached out, checked in, offered condolences and emotional support. I've read all my messages and tried to read most of the comments. Most of them have been very kind and useful and have helped a lot over the past few days. That's very nice. See, the internet's not all bad all the time. Sometimes people can be nice. I had a scan yesterday, which confirmed that everything has passed successfully. Some people may remember that I was very worried about retained tissue due to my fever over the weekend. I didn't know about that. Maybe she put that in the comments or something I didn't read. Also, my tonsils have fully cleared up, so I'm feeling almost back to normal tonsillitis. That is what she said. If it cleared up, feeling almost back to normal physically. I guess she had some infection or something after that. That can happen after a miscarriage. It's a whole thing. So it's good that she's feeling better. I didn't know about that. I guess she probably put that in the comments that I didn't read. But it's good that she's feeling better. Last paragraph here, and then I'm going to start talking about what I think. Not too much, because it's already been kind of long, I think. I don't know. Haven't checked the time. I left my husband. That's how this paragraph starts. I left my husband. Me and my son are staying with family in a different part of the country, so we are safe and we are managing. My husband did get very angry when I told him that I was leaving him. He tried to stop me from leaving with our son, put hands on me, and threatened to end his life. I will have comments on that. My mom intervened, and like I said, we are safe. I have some time off work now, so I will continue to take time to recover emotionally and plan my next steps. Thank you if you read this far. I doubt there will be any more updates after this. Okay. That's the whole story, everybody. From top to tail, 20 minutes, some change. Tried not to ramble too much. That last part kind of just sealed my opinion of this man. I use the term man very loosely. This boy, this child, this leech, this stain on humanity, this absolute skid mark on the crustiest part of the underpants of society, this complete, irredeemable piece of shit. Right? We start at the beginning with his wife texting him that she thinks she's miscarrying, losing their child as we speak, and instead of rushing home and turning that 30-minute commute into 15, 20, speeding the fuck out of there, you know what I'm saying? He took twice as long as he should have because he stopped to get beer. While his wife was miscarrying, he stopped to get beer. Right? So that's job one. That's the first red flag, I guess you'd call it. Right? Number 2. Bro finally saunters his way home. Right? Comes up to his wife, who is miscarrying, whatever. Takes her to the hospital. Gets her checked out, figured out, whatever. And then on the way home, after she had just miscarried and been in the hospital for hours, first words out of bro's mouth, first thought in his head, first words out of his mouth is, "Are you still gonna make my special dinner for my birthday?" Right. That's his first and only thought. His only concern is what is this woman who just lost her child? What can she still do for me? Right? And when she says, "I'm not really feeling up to it," but then still gives him the compromise of, "I'll pay for whatever takeout you want." Right? Which is, God, what a saint. What a goddamn saint for her to do something like that after having gone through the shit she went through. And instead of bro saying, "Oh yeah, of course, I was just curious," instead of bro walking it back and being like, "I was just curious, or of course, I appreciate that," what have you. He whispers under his little dick breath, "For fuck's sake," right? For fuck's sake. For fuck's sake? Yeah, for fuck's sake. Your fucking behavior, for fuck's sake. What the fuck you mean, for fuck's sake? I'm sorry. Has her almost bleeding out and losing her child inconvenienced you? For fuck's sake. And then follows it up with, "This bullshit's ruined my birthday. This bullshit's ruined my birthday. All I wanted was a chippy tea for my birthday and you ruined it. Motherfucker! Die. Die today. Die right now, today. That's when he really pissed me off, was getting in there. And then it just kept getting fucking worse after that, right? Fast forward, right? Bro starts being passive-aggressive, giving the silent treatment like a child, giving the goddamn silent treatment, as if he's the wronged party, right? As if she needs to apologize to him for her inconveniencing and ruining his birthday, right? Slamming doors, silent treatment, ignoring, neglecting his wife who just went through a horrible trauma. Instead of y'all two coming together, talking about it, being there for each other emotionally and everything after just going through such a huge loss, you leave her alone, ignored, neglected. Get your mother to call her and tell her she's being a bitch. Tell her that she's the one who needs to apologize. Let me start on your fucking mother raising a pussy-ass bitch like you. And then, right, if that wasn't enough, we fast forward now to the update. The update, right? Where we start off by her trying to defend him in some ways, which, I mean, part of me wants to be mad at her for doing it, but bigger part of me really understands why, because, you know, like she said, he's her first love, the only man she's ever really been with. It makes sense. It makes sense why she'd make excuses for the behavior, regardless of how awful it's been. She makes sense, because to her, kind of a red flag, the next thing on our list, right, is she decided to do something nice, try and put something together, something for their apartment, for their house, for their whatever they got. Try and put something nice together, a nice little accent chair, right? And maybe she put it together incorrectly, right? She used, you know, a screwdriver and it wasn't together stable enough or whatever. Instead of using a drill, she didn't wait. Maybe she should have waited for him if she wasn't, you know, aware. But she tried to do something nice. And, you know, it's the thought that counts, right? And as a man, as a husband, you get home and your wife has tried to do something nice. Maybe she failed, didn't do it quite as wise, right? You thank her for the effort. You appreciate what she tried to do. And then you take that and you not only do you, what you should do is, you know, fix the issue, but make a thing out of it, right? Like, bring her with you and show her, right? Because she tried and didn't do it right. So instead of making her feel stupid or useless or breaking what she tried to do, just bring her over and be like, all right, hey, so for next time, you know, like here's how we do this, right? Here's how we do this together. Like you bring out the proper tools and you show her how to put it together. So next time she can do it, you know, and then she can have a sense of accomplishment in the future. Now having a new thing, you know, if she's open to that. If she doesn't want to learn, then, you know, whatever. But like if she's open to it, then, you know, yeah, make it a thing. Make it like a learning experience, a teaching experience, and something you guys can do together to grow your bond together. I think it could be a beautiful thing. That's what I would do. That's what I would do as if I came home and my girl tried to put something together and she did it wrong. I mean, you know what I wouldn't do? What I wouldn't do is go out of my way to break it to show how wrong she put it together. And bro didn't even try to like break it normal, right? It's not even like she put it together and he was like, oh, let me test it out, and sat down and it snapped, right? Because she didn't do it right. It was, bro went out of his way, jumped up and down on the chair until it broke. You jump up and down repeatedly on most chairs, eventually they're gonna fucking break, depending on how big this dude is and what size the chair is. Like, that's not even a testament to how shoddy, if she put it together shoddy or not. That's just you throwing a fucking tantrum for some reason because, what, she took away one of your man jobs or something, made you feel small because she put together a chair when you didn't, or whatever. Like, I can't understand the thought process going through your head to go out of your way to destroy something your wife did trying to be nice, right? I don't. And I said, it's like I said, he didn't even try. It wasn't even like normal. Like, he went out of his way. He tried really hard to break it, and of course, eventually, jumping up and down it like a fucking Neanderthal, he broke it, right? And then we fast forward. To the last little blurb there, the last little little bit. The coup de grace, right? The cherry on the shit sundae. Fucking dingleberry on top of this whole situation. This man's bitches fucking behavior. She does the right thing and leaves. Everything's becoming clear to her now. Everything's coming clear. She's recognizing all the behavior over everything and realizing, damn, this is not the man I thought he was. He's not treating me right. He's making me feel awful, whatever. I don't want to be here. And she leaves, takes some time, right? She left him because of his behavior, as she should. And what is this absolute disgusting stain on what we call a society do? What does he do? Not only does he put hands on her, that alone, without any of the other shit, without any of the other behavior, that alone puts you in a body bag in my book. You put hands on her. You put hands on her. The only reason you should ever put hands on a woman as a man is if that woman is trying to kill you. You understand me? The only reason you should ever put hands on a woman as a man is if that woman is trying to hurt and kill you. You know what I'm saying? You got to defend your life against that woman. That woman's coming at you with a knife, give her the two-piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm not crazy. I'm not stupid. That woman's got a gun. You know what I'm saying? And you defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? You get out of there. That woman's trying to kill you. Piece her up. I don't care. Piece her up. That's the only scenario, though, where you're putting hands like that on a woman. Guarantee you. Only scenario. So a man put hands on her to keep her from leaving him? To keep her from leaving? Put hands on her? I don't care in what context. I don't care if he grabbed her, hit her, slapped her, whatever it is he tried to do. He put hands on her aggressively to keep her from leaving. Body bag. Point blank period. Body bag. We're done. But if that wasn't bad enough, right? He hit her with the classic, right? The fucking, this man, 27 years old? The teenager classic. The fucking toxic emo boyfriend classic. If you leave, I'm gonna kill myself. You little bitch. Ugh. I know anybody out there listening to me right now who's ever been there, been in that mindset of you feel like that's your only way out and you didn't do it. First of all, I'm proud of you for not doing it. But second of all, like, hearing that, right? For any of us who've been in that situation, been in that headspace where you were there. You were there, it was ready, and you were so close. You were so close to genuinely just going away, right? Taking your trip. And didn't do it. Again, proud of you. You have no idea how proud of you I am for not doing that. But in the same, for somebody to use that to try and get somebody not to leave them, to threaten that as a form of manipulation and toxicity is just, it's so gross. It's so gross. It's so just, it's unacceptable. It's disgusting. This man, I've read a lot of these posts, man, and I might hate this man more than anybody I've ever hated on this channel, on this podcast, YouTube channel, all the assholes I've read, you know. I might hate this man the most out of all of them. The things he's done, the things he's, I wish nothing but the worst for this man. I wish nothing but the absolute worst for the man in this story. I hope nothing good comes your way. I hope nothing but the worst for you. I hope your life fucking sucks. Yeah. Had another, 15 minutes on to the end of that with that rant, talking about it myself. Like I said, it's going to be a longer one, and it's going to be a little more emotional, a little less jovial, a little more serious. So I do apologize for that. But maybe you liked it. I hope some a little more different. Maybe you liked it. I don't know. But that's the end of it. I'm going to get into the outro, I guess, is what it's called. The special message, at least at the end. Well, so stick around. All right, everybody. All right. That was a longer one. That was a more emotional one, more serious tone. I appreciate you listening through. If you did, being here for that. Like I said, I try to be funny, entertaining around here. Sometimes it don't quite work. There's not really a situation where I can sit around and make jokes about it. Something that's very serious, and a situation that really made me mad. I tried my best not to yell, because I don't want to burst y'all's eardrums over this shit. But again, thank you for listening, hanging out, being here, downloading and all that helps me out a ton. Follow, comment, do all the stuff. You know how it works. But let's get into the end here. The special message at the end of everything. The end of all this. Everything I do. Special message. And today's special message. Oh, man. Be kind, man. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to your people. Know when it's time to take care of yourself, get out of a bad situation. Recognize those. Do your best to recognize those flags when they pop up. Believe people when they show you who they are. Right? Don't make excuses for people because you love them or you think you love them or have been important to you in the past. But people show you who they are through their actions. Believe them. Believe them when they show you who they are. Okay? When that mask slips, and it always does, believe what you see. Okay? Because there are people out there who don't wear masks. What you see is what you get, and there are people who will love you for you and won't lie to you, won't cheat on you, won't treat you this way. And they're out there, and so you don't have to settle for less. You don't have to put up with abuse just to feel connection. You don't have to. All right? And I suppose a little addendum on the end of it, given we talked a little bit about suicide in here, or at least the threat of it. If you're in that mindset, if you're in that headspace, don't do it. It does get better. I know that's a horrible cliche. I hated hearing it when I was there too. Trust me. But you don't got to do it. All right? There are more reasons to stay around other than, well, my mom would be sad, right? My friends would be sad, whatever. You got to live for you. You got to find a reason to be alive for you. Okay? It can't be the people around you. It's got to be you. Find a way to love yourself. Find a way to be the best version of you. Be somebody you love. All right? Don't do it. It's not worth it. Okay? The world will not be better without you in it. I promise. Okay. Wow. 40 minutes. Not a whole lot of yucks on this one. Maybe the next one will be better. I kind of just take these as they come. But thank you all for listening. Stay safe out there, everybody. You're respected and loved. And I'm here to listen to you. Just like you, hopefully, listen to me. See you in the next one, everybody.